Hi, you guys, Erin here, back with another moon update for you. We are having a new moon coming up on October 6th at 4:04 a.m. Pacific time. So as with any new moon, this is a time for new beginnings. This is a time to manifest growth into our life that has to do with the sign that the moon is transiting through. So this new moon takes place in the sign of Libra, 13 degrees Libra. Now, Libra is the sign of justice, the sign of fairness. In fact, it's represented by the scales, okay? But it's ruled by Venus. This energy has to do with relationships and partnerships. It doesn't necessarily have to just be romantic relationships. It could also be applied to like business partnerships, something like that. This is the cardinal air sign. Cardinal meaning that this energy's got some really good force for it's a quality for starting projects and that sort of thing. And that air element has to do with intellect. Okay. So all these things, we can manifest growth with all these things into our life, and they would really come into fruition over these next 6 months until we have a full moon in the sign of Libra. And we all experience this as a collective. We can all do this together. We can all manifest more justice into the world, that sort of thing. But it also is very unique to each and every one of us, depending on where that sign of Libra is in your own natal chart. Okay, like for example, this new moon would come through my 11th house in my natal chart. The 11th house is the house of like networking with large groups of people who have, share mutual goals, that sort of thing. It's like this house of associates and hopes and wishes. So I know to manifest this growth very specifically through that area of my life. And maybe for you, it's coming through your house of money, or maybe it's coming through your house of relationships, or maybe your house of career, your house of self. And so that's why I offer these 10-minute moon readings so that I can show you which area of your life this is specifically manifesting through, and maybe what sort of connections are being made with other celestial bodies in your own natal chart. And so you can finely tune what it is you're trying to bring into fruition. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys and show you exactly what's going on with this new moon in Libra. Okay, so first of all, I work with geocentric Western astrology, and that said we put Earth right here in the middle. Okay, and these guys right here, these are all the celestial bodies where they will be around us on October 6th at 4:04 a.m. Pacific time. These right here are the symbols for the zodiac signs that those celestial bodies are beaming through. Okay, so we're going to focus on these guys here first. This right here is the moon. And this right here is the sun. So right here is the symbol for the sign of Libra. We can see this new moon takes place at 13 degrees Libra, and to be very specific, 24 minutes. Okay, so this puts us in the second decan of the Libra season. This actually puts a little twist of Aquarius energy in there as well. Okay, now Aquarius is actually the sign of humanitarianism. It's the sign of keeping up with the revolutionary changes we're seeing in the world. It's a sign of technology. So all of that can also be brought into your manifestations, okay? Now, some very interesting aspects we've got going on with this new moon. Very, very unique. This right here is Mars, that is also at 13 degrees Libra. It's only off by minutes, okay? Now, Mars adds a very interesting twist to this new moon. Mars is it's like our physical drive. It's that masculine energy. It's often referred to as the planet of war, but it's really just the warrior. It's very like a dominant energy. Now, generally speaking, Mars doesn't do so well in the sign of Libra, only because Mars is so driven for self, goals, that sort of thing. Whereas Libra is like a little more chill and wants to be fair and balanced and that sort of thing. But there's pros and cons to literally everything in astrology. The pros to this Mars and Libra is that it can help us launch our goals, launch what it is we're trying to bring into fruition, which we kind of need right now because we have a lot of retrograde energy going on, okay? So I also will mention this, Mercury, very loose conjunction, but it's there. It's also in the sign of Libra at 20 degrees Libra, and it's in retrograde. Now, Mercury rules our conscious awareness, also has a lot to do with our communication skills. Now, personally, I don't let these retrogrades get in my way. I look at them as a time to sort of reevaluate, what it is, your goals that you have set, that you've got written down. This is a time to go over them, make sure that you've got everything exactly how you want it to plan out, or the way you want it to come out to be. Often there's sort of a surprise twist that the universe will send to us, but that Mercury retrograde it's just a time to sort of rethink everything. But again, I don't let it get in my way. And a lot of this also just depends on how Mercury is placed in your own natal chart. Some of us, it's going to affect more than others. Okay, so some other interesting aspects we've got going on with this new moon. Okay, first we'll talk about this opposition, this red line we see going across the chart right here. This is this new moon opposing Chiron. Okay, now Chiron is generally referred to as the wounded healer. It does have a lot to do with healing energies, has a lot to do with trauma, often trauma that can be related to early childhood. Okay, now I'm going to kind of digress from in here. Libra rules the kidneys. Every single zodiac sign rules certain parts of our body. And when the moon is transiting through that sign, those parts of our body become more sensitive. Now, since Libra rules the kidneys, and this is a new moon, this is a really, really good time for a kidney cleanse. Now, the kidneys also have a strong tendency to hold trauma. And putting this all together here with an opposition, with any opposition, the best way to go about that challenge, because it is a challenging aspect, is to integrate the energies. That's the challenge, is to integrate the energies. And with this, I see this as we can easily integrate that Chiron, the wounded healer, with, and the, kidneys holding the trauma with the Libra energy, kidney flush, kidney cleanse. And there's so many different ways to go about this. It really kind of depends on what your kidney issues are, what kind of toxins you've been exposed to, or what you've been putting in your body and that sort of thing. But just to name a few things, Piedra is really good for like kidney stones. I think it actually stands for the stone crusher. Also, marshmallow root is a really gentle one. Ginger is a really good one for kidneys. That's another very, very gentle herb for cleansing the kidneys. Parsley, just eating raw parsley or making like parsley tea. Or also gynostema is one of my favorite herbs for cleansing the kidneys. But literally the list goes on and on. It just depends. I personally like to tap in to my intuition and just sort of feel into what my body needs to cleanse my kidneys. Oh, beets, another one I wanted to mention. Like fresh pressed beet juice is a really potent way for cleaning the kidneys. Okay, so there's that. Now, also something I'm going to mention here is we've got an inconjunct aspect going from this new moon up into Uranus and Taurus. The way I'm seeing this is that this is not so good for the crypto stuff, okay? That Uranus and Taurus has a lot to do with what's going on with the cryptocurrencies. And this is a challenging aspect being connected from the new moon over to the Uranus and Taurus energy. But personally, I do not let this get in my way. I really do feel strongly that the crypto stuff is going to go back up probably around March of 2022. Okay, so then also we've got a semi-square connection here between this new moon and Venus, which is transiting through Scorpio. Okay, so Venus, first of all, does not do so well in the sign of Scorpio. Venus has a lot to do with relationships and what we're attracted to and that sort of thing. In fact, it's Libra's ruler. But this semi-square aspect can be kind of challenging. There may be challenges going on with your relationship, and you might be kind of down feeling like, oh, but this is the new moon of partnerships. Well, the best way to get through this, and this, honestly, this aspect is only going to last a couple of days, but it's that energy. The best way to work with a semi-square connection between celestial bodies is by remaining calm. So if you're feeling that, antsy or whatever towards your relationship, towards your partner, remember to stay calm. That's the best way to handle that aspect. But also keep in mind that this is also going to be very, very unique to each and every one of us. It so much depends on your own natal chart. Okay, so I think I covered all the aspects there. Oh, I should also mention, we have a ton of retrograde energy going on. As I mentioned, we've got Mercury in retrograde. We've got Uranus in retrograde. We've got Chiron in retrograde, Neptune in retrograde, Jupiter in retrograde, Saturn in retrograde, Pluto in retrograde. The nodes are both going to be in retrograde. Nodes are usually in retrograde anyway, but it's like everybody's kind of backtracking. Again, I don't let this stuff get in my way. I keep moving forward with these retrogrades, but also recognize that there's a tendency for things to kind of go a little bit wacky. And I don't allow for those unexpected, sort of challenges to stop me from, moving forward with my goals. And then by the time all these things are moving forward again, then I'm kind of already in that flow. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. The next thing I'm going to mention is stones that resonate well with that Libra energy. I will leave a very full, extensive list, like 20 different stones that resonate well with the Libra energy, which I get from the Encyclopedia of Crystals and also some astrology books. But the dedicated zodiacal birthstone for Libra is opal. Opal is a really good one for bringing balance. Opal is a really good one for kind of even balancing hormones and that sort of thing. Today I'm wearing a black opal little pendant here. This one's very, very powerful for ritual work. Black opal is very well recognized for bringing power to your rituals and that sort of thing. So if you are having some sort of a moon ritual and you have black opal, you might want to keep that around, but keep in mind it's very, very powerful. Okay, now also some other ones I'm going to mention here that are fairly well known. Kyanite. I've got two different kinds of kyanite here, and they both resonate well with that Libra energy. They're also very much protective stones. That's why I like these ones so much. The kyanite, the black kyanite specifically, is really good for mental clarity. Again, this energy has to do with intellect, especially with that Mercury being conjunct. So this is really good for bringing mental clarity, and it's also super protective. The blue kyanite, very beautiful stone, also very protective, but this one's a little more like metaphysical type work, okay? So there's those. Now, another one is rose quartz. Resonates very well with the Libra energy. And what's so great about rose quartz, it's a healer, okay? And going back to that Chiron opposition, if you're somebody who's on a healing journey, it's a really good idea to keep those rose quartz near you, especially if you're gonna be cleaning the kidneys and that sort of thing. Okay, and then there's always, of course, all reliable here, black tourmaline. Another one I was going to mention is moonstone. Moonstone resonates very well with the Libra energy, but I will let you know that there can be a tendency for this to heighten emotions for you empaths out there. This is when you might just be mindful of that. It really does heighten the intuition, but it also can heighten emotions, especially on a waxing moon. If we're getting up into like a full moon, especially in the sign of Cancer or something like that, I don't keep moonstone around me with that kind of a moon. But since we're going to a new moon, the moon is waning, then this might be a good stone, especially if you're trying to heighten your intuition. And then just one more thing that I always mention in my videos, because I feel it's so important. We are dealing with serious like electromagnetic field energy right now, super like hyper technological energies floating around us, lots of radiation. Clear crystal quartz is wonderful. It is an amplifier. It is a great stone, but it also, when I say it's an amplifier, it can also amplify the energies. Like I'm sitting in front of my computer right now, and this is amplifying the EMFs that I am receiving. And that said, I've got like an abundance of very protective stones here as well. So there's that. Okay, I think I covered everything that I wanted to talk about for this new moon. If you would like to schedule an astrology reading, please visit my website, erinwageastrology.com, ERINWAAGE astrology.com. I will leave links. You can also just send me an email at erinwageastrology@gmail.com. I'll also leave links to other platforms that I'm on, Telegram, and I don't know, just I'll leave links to how to contact me. Just look where there's a text written out or whatever. But okay, you guys, until next time, namaste to all of you.